Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our show, where we discuss real senior health and psychology concerns.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Mark. It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Mary. Happy to be here.
Mark, before we start, I need to tell you something important.
What is it?
We've been receiving so many comments and messages on our social media from seniors who are deeply worried and confused.
Oh, what's happening?
They're seeing YouTube videos with danger-style thumbnails and scary warnings about sleep issues. Many are panicking and don't know what's real anymore.
That's concerning.
It really is. So today, we're addressing 5 real questions from real seniors who are struggling with exactly this confusion.
That sounds very important.
Yes, we'll be discussing sleep duration concerns, sleep position confusion, melatonin safety debates, nighttime waking worries, and the 3 a.m. heart attack scare.
These are critical topics.
Absolutely. And if you're watching this and dealing with similar concerns, please stay with us through this entire conversation.
Yes, this could really help you.
Also, feel free to share your own questions in the comments below with your name, age, and country.
We read every single one.
Now, if you're finding value in these discussions, please subscribe to our channel.
It helps us reach more seniors who need this information.
All right, Mark, let's dive into our first question.
I'm ready.
This question comes from Mr. Thomas, 68, from Seattle, United States. He is asking, I'm 68 and I only sleep about 5 hours each night. I feel fine during the day, but YouTube videos keep saying this is slowly killing me and I'll get dementia or heart disease. But when I told my doctor, he said 5 hours is normal for my age and not to worry. Now I'm completely confused and anxious. My question is, who should I believe? Is 5 hours really dangerous for seniors, or is it actually normal? Should I force myself to stay in bed longer even when I'm not tired? Before we continue, if you have similar sleep concerns, please share them in the comments with your name, age, country, and your question. We'd love to feature them in upcoming episodes.
Yes, please do share.
All right, Mark. This is causing Thomas so much anxiety. What should he understand?
Thomas, listen carefully. Your doctor is right, and here's why. A 2024 University of Pittsburgh study on senior sleep patterns found that sleep needs naturally decrease with age. And for many people over 65, 5 to 6 hours of quality sleep is completely sufficient if they feel rested and functional during the day. The key word here is quality, not quantity.
So those scary YouTube warnings are misleading?
They're incomplete and creating unnecessary fear. Those warnings are based on studies of younger adults and middle-aged people. When you're 30 or 40, yes, consistently sleeping only 5 hours can increase health risks, but senior bodies are different. Our sleep architecture changes naturally. We spend less time in deep sleep, we have different circadian rhythms, and our bodies genuinely need less total sleep time.
That's really reassuring to hear.
Now, Thomas, here's what actually matters. You said you feel fine during the day. That's your answer right there. If you're not experiencing daytime fatigue, if you're not falling asleep during activities, if your mood is stable and your thinking is clear, then your 5 hours is working for your body. Forcing yourself to stay in bed when you're not tired will only create sleep anxiety and make things worse.
So he shouldn't force it?
Absolutely not. Let me give you a real example. Someone mentioned in the comments that her husband spent 2 years trying to force himself to sleep 8 hours because the internet told him to. He would lie awake in bed, stressed and anxious, watching the clock. His actual sleep quality got worse. When he finally accepted his natural 5.5-hour pattern, his anxiety disappeared and he felt better than ever.
That's exactly what Thomas is dealing with.
Here's the practical guidance. If you're sleeping 5 hours and feeling good, continue exactly what you're doing. Don't create a problem where none exists. However, pay attention to your body.
If you start feeling tired during the day, if you notice memory issues, or if your mood changes, then talk to your doctor again. But right now, Thomas, you're fine.
What about the dementia warnings he's saying?
Those studies show correlation, not causation for seniors. Often, early dementia causes poor sleep, not the other way around. And those studies don't account for individual differences in older adults. The fact that your doctor examined you and said you're normal is far more valuable than generic internet warnings designed to get clicks.
Such an important distinction.
Now, Thomas, here's the psychological truth you need to understand. This anxiety you're feeling isn't coming from your body. Your body is telling you it's fine with 5 hours. This anxiety is coming from external fear-based information that doesn't apply to you. When we ignore what our own bodies are telling us and instead trust scary headlines, we create suffering where none needs to exist. Trust your doctor, trust how you feel, and stop letting the internet make you afraid of your own healthy sleep pattern.
Perfect advice, Mark. This question comes from Miss Dorothy, 72, from Birmingham, United Kingdom. She is asking, I'm 72 and I'm so confused about sleep positions. One YouTube expert says seniors must sleep on the right side for heart health. Another says left side prevents acid reflux. And my doctor says back sleeping is best for spine. I've been switching positions every night trying to do it correctly, and now I can't sleep at all because I'm overthinking it. My question is, which sleep position is actually best for seniors? Does it really matter that much, or am I stressing over nothing? If you're dealing with similar confusion about sleep positions, please comment below with your details and question. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. Share your concerns.
Mark, Dorothy sounds exhausted from all this switching around. What's the real answer here?
Dorothy, I'm going to give you the honest truth that will probably surprise you. There is no single correct sleep position for all seniors. A Johns Hopkins study on sleep quality in older adults showed that the most important factor for restorative sleep isn't which side you choose, but whether you maintain a consistent, comfortable position that allows uninterrupted rest. The best position is simply the one where you naturally fall asleep and stay asleep.
So all this conflicting advice is actually causing the problem.
Exactly. Now, let me explain the nuances so you understand why there's confusion. Side sleeping, whether right or left, does help with breathing and can reduce snoring for most seniors. If you specifically have acid reflux, sleeping on your left side may help because of how your stomach is positioned. If you have certain heart conditions, some cardiologists might suggest the right side. But honestly, for most seniors without serious cardiac issues, this difference is minimal.
What about back sleeping?
Back sleeping can be excellent for spinal alignment, but only if you don't snore heavily and you use proper support. The problem is, many seniors develop sleep apnea tendencies, and back sleeping can worsen that. So you see, Dorothy, each position has pros and cons depending on your individual body and conditions.
This is making much more sense now.
Here's what I want you to do, Dorothy. Think about how you naturally slept before you started watching all these videos. What position did your body gravitate toward? That's probably your answer. Your body has its own wisdom developed over 72 years. If you were sleeping fine before and only struggling now because of overthinking, then the position was never your problem. The anxiety about the position became the problem.
That's such a powerful insight.
Let me share something. A viewer once told us she spent 4 months rotating between all 3 positions based on different expert advice. She kept a journal tracking which position she used each night. Her sleep got progressively worse. Finally, she gave up the experiment, went back to her natural left side position with a pillow between her knees, and within 1 week, her sleep normalized completely. The position hadn't changed. Her mental stress about it had.
Wow, that really illustrates the point.
Now, here's practical guidance. Pick one comfortable position and commit to it for at least 2 weeks. If you choose side sleeping, place a pillow between your knees to keep your spine aligned. If you choose back sleeping, put a small pillow under your knees. Make sure your neck pillow provides proper support without tilting your head too far forward or back. Then stop experimenting and just sleep.
And what if she's still not sure which one to pick?
Then pick the one she naturally wakes up in most mornings. Your body moves during sleep to find comfort. Whatever position you find yourself in when you wake up is likely your body's preferred position. Start there and stick with it.
Simple but effective.
Dorothy, here's what you need to understand psychologically. You're not stressing over nothing, but you are stressing over something that doesn't require this much mental energy. This constant position switching is a form of control-seeking behavior. When we feel anxious about aging or health, we sometimes grab onto small things we think we can perfect. But sleep doesn't work that way. Sleep requires letting go, not controlling. Your body knows how to sleep, Dorothy. It's been doing it successfully for over 7 decades. Trust it again.
Beautifully said, Mark.
This question comes from Miss Evelyn, 71, from Phoenix, United States. She is asking, I'm 71, and for the past 6 months, I wake up almost every night around 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep easily. I saw multiple YouTube videos claiming that waking up at 3 a.m. daily is a warning sign of an upcoming heart attack or serious heart problem. Now I'm terrified every night when I wake up at that time. My question is this 3 a.m. waking really a heart attack warning sign? Why does this specific time keep happening? Should I see a cardiologist immediately, or is this just another internet scare? If you're experiencing similar nighttime waking patterns and feeling worried, please share your story in the comments with your name, age, and location. Your question could help others.
Yes, we'd really appreciate hearing from you.
Mark, Evelyn sounds genuinely frightened. Is there any truth to this 3 a.m. heart attack claim?
Evelyn, let me put your mind at ease immediately. Waking up at 3 a.m. is not a warning sign of an impending heart attack. This is a perfect example of how internet misinformation creates terror out of normal aging patterns. A 2025 study by the National Institute on Aging found that approximately 65% of adults over 70 experience regular early morning awakenings, typically between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. And this is related to natural circadian rhythm changes, not cardiac danger.
So why do so many seniors wake at this specific time?
Great question. Here's what's actually happening. As we age, our body's production of melatonin decreases, and our core body temperature regulation changes. Around 3 a.m., your body temperature naturally drops to its lowest point, and this can trigger wakefulness in seniors whose sleep is already lighter. Additionally, cortisol, your stress hormone, begins rising in early morning hours to prepare you for the day. In younger people, this doesn't wake them because their sleep is deeper. But in seniors, this natural hormone shift can cause awakening.
So it's completely biological and normal.
Absolutely. Now, there is a reason this myth exists, and I want to explain it so you understand. Heart attacks do statistically occur more frequently in early morning hours, roughly between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. But this is because of blood pressure and platelet activity changes that happen during waking and becoming active, not because waking up at 3 a.m. causes heart attacks. The two things are completely unrelated.
That's really important to clarify.
Evelyn, if you were having heart problems, you wouldn't just wake up at 3 a.m. feeling normal. You'd have other symptoms like chest discomfort, shortness of breath, unusual fatigue during the day, or arm pain. The fact that you simply wake up, feel fine, and just struggle to fall back asleep tells me this is a sleep pattern issue, not a cardiac emergency.
So she doesn't need to rush to a cardiologist.
Not based on this symptom alone. However, if Evelyn has other concerns, family history of heart disease, or additional symptoms, then yes, seeing her doctor for a routine checkup is always wise. But waking at 3 a.m. by itself is not an emergency signal.
What should she actually do when she wakes up at that time?
Here's the practical approach. When you wake at 3 a.m., don't look at the clock. Checking the time creates anxiety. Don't grab your phone and start Googling symptoms. Instead, practice slow breathing. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 6. Do this for a few minutes. If you're still awake after 20 minutes, get up, go to another room, do something calm and boring like reading something uninteresting under dim light, then return to bed when you feel sleepy again.
And avoid the scary videos.
Absolutely critical. I remember a senior shared in the comments that she had the exact same 3 a.m. waking pattern. She saw those heart attack videos and became so terrified that her fear actually made her sleep worse. She'd wake up with her heart racing from anxiety, which then convinced her the videos were right. Finally, her doctor explained it was normal aging, she stopped watching fear content, and within 3 weeks her anxiety decreased and her sleep improved, even though she still occasionally woke at 3 a.m.
The fear was worse than the actual waking.
Exactly. Now, Evelyn, here's what I need you to understand psychologically. This fear you're carrying is stealing your peace. Every night when you wake, instead of calmly returning to sleep, you're now flooded with terror about dying. That fear triggers your stress response, raises your heart rate, and makes falling back asleep nearly impossible. You've created a self-fulfilling cycle where fear of not sleeping is preventing sleep.
How does she break that cycle?
By changing the meaning you attach to waking up. Right now, 3 a.m. means danger to you. Instead, reframe it as your body's natural pattern. When you wake, tell yourself, "This is normal. My body is fine. I'm safe. I'll fall back asleep soon." Remove the drama and fear from the experience. Your body isn't broken, Evelyn. It's just 71 years old and operating exactly as a 71-year-old body should. Accept that with peace, and your sleep will improve.
Such wisdom, Mark.
This question comes from Mr. Kenneth, 70, from Vancouver, Canada. He is asking, I'm 70 and struggling with insomnia for months now. My friend suggested melatonin, and some YouTube videos say it's safe and natural for seniors. But when I asked my pharmacist, she warned me against it and said seniors should never take melatonin regularly. Now I don't know what to do. My question is melatonin actually safe for seniors or dangerous? Why are there such opposite opinions about it? And if I shouldn't take it, what else can help me sleep naturally?
If melatonin confusion is affecting your decisions, share your concerns in the comments with your name, age, and country. We're here to help clarify.
Please do reach out. Kenneth is getting completely opposite advice here, Mark. What's the real story with melatonin for seniors?
Kenneth, this is a nuanced topic, so let me give you the complete picture. Melatonin itself is not dangerous, but the way it's often used by seniors can create problems. A Harvard Medical School research review from 2024 found that while melatonin can be helpful for occasional sleep difficulties, regular long-term use in seniors over 65 can lead to daytime grogginess, increased fall risk, and interference with other medications. So both your friend and your pharmacist have partial truth.
So it's not simply safe or dangerous.
Exactly. Here's what's happening. Melatonin is a hormone your body naturally produces to regulate sleep-wake cycles. When you're younger, you produce plenty of it. As you age, production decreases, which is one reason seniors often sleep less. Taking melatonin supplements seems logical, but here's the catch. The dosage in most store-bought melatonin is far higher than what your body would naturally produce, sometimes 10 to 20 times higher.
Oh, that's a significant difference.
Yes, and here's another issue. Melatonin supplements aren't regulated the same way prescription medications are. Studies have found that actual melatonin content in pills can vary wildly from what the label claims. You might think you're taking 3 milligrams, but actually getting 1 or getting 7. For seniors on multiple medications, this unpredictability is risky.
What kind of risks are we talking about?
Melatonin can interact with blood thinners, blood pressure medications, and diabetes medications. It can increase dizziness, which raises fall risk, especially if you wake up during the night to use the bathroom. Some seniors also experience next-day fatigue or mood changes. Your pharmacist was right to be cautious, Kenneth, especially if you're on other medications.
So, should he avoid it completely?
Not necessarily. If Kenneth wants to try melatonin occasionally, not every night, for short-term use, like a week or two, and he checks with his doctor first about medication interactions, then a very low dose, maybe 0.5 to 1 milligram taken 2 hours before bedtime, might be okay. But it shouldn't become a nightly habit, and it's not a long-term solution.
What are better alternatives then?
I'm glad you asked. Let me give Kenneth practical, natural strategies that actually address the root causes of insomnia. First, establish a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even weekends. Your body thrives on routine. Second, get morning sunlight exposure within an hour of waking. This helps reset your natural circadian rhythm far more effectively than melatonin pills.
What else can help?
Reduce screen time at least 1 hour before bed. The blue light from phones and tablets suppresses your natural melatonin production. Create a cool, dark bedroom environment. Seniors sleep better in rooms around 65 to 68 degrees. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. And if you nap during the day, keep it under 30 minutes and before 3 p.m.
Those sound very doable.
Also, add gentle physical activity during the day. Even a 20-minute walk in the afternoon can improve nighttime sleep significantly. And here's something important. Manage your fluid intake. Drink plenty during the day, but reduce liquids 2 hours before bed to minimize nighttime bathroom trips that disrupt sleep.
What if these don't work immediately?
Give them time, Kenneth. Your insomnia developed over months. It won't resolve in 3 days. Commit to these changes for at least 3 to 4 weeks before deciding they're not working. Often, seniors expect instant results and give up too quickly.
Patience is important here.
Very much so. Now, here's the psychological insight Kenneth needs to hear. When we struggle with sleep, we often look for quick external fixes like pills because they feel like taking action. But real sleep improvement comes from working with your body's natural systems, not overriding them with supplements. The anxiety and frustration you feel about insomnia is actually making it worse.
The worry feeds the problem.
Exactly. Every night you go to bed thinking, I won't sleep, I need that pill. You're programming your mind for failure. Instead, approach sleep with calm acceptance. Some nights will be better than others, and that's okay. You're 70 years old, Kenneth. Your sleep won't look like it did at 30, and that's completely normal. Stop fighting your age and start working with it. Trust the natural strategies. Be patient with yourself and release the desperation for perfect sleep. That shift in mindset often matters more than any supplement ever could.
Wonderful guidance, Mark. All right, this is our final question for today's episode.
Let's make it count.
This question comes from Miss Barbara, 73, from Sydney, Australia. She is asking, I'm 73 and I wake up 3 to 4 times every single night to use the bathroom or just randomly. I fall back asleep, but my daughter says this interrupted sleep is a warning sign of something serious, but my doctor said it's totally normal after 70. I'm confused and worried now. My question is waking up multiple times a night dangerous for my health or just a normal part of aging? Should I be concerned or am I overthinking this because of what I read online? This is our last question today, so if you have your own concerns you'd like us to address in future episodes, please leave them in the comments with your name, age, and country.
We really do read every comment.
Barbara's daughter has her worried, Mark. What's the truth here?
Barbara, your doctor is correct, and I want to explain why so you can feel confident about this. A 2024 Mayo Clinic study on sleep fragmentation in older adults found that waking 2 to 4 times per night is experienced by over 70% of people over 70. And when individuals fall back asleep relatively easily, this does not indicate serious health problems. It's a normal, age-related change in sleep architecture.
So her daughter's concern while caring is misplaced?
It comes from a good place, but lacks understanding of senior sleep patterns. Let me explain what's actually happening in your body, Barbara. As we age, we spend less time in deep sleep stages and more time in lighter sleep stages. This lighter sleep means you're more easily awakened by small things like needing the bathroom, a noise, temperature changes, or even natural sleep cycle transitions that wouldn't have woken you at 40.
So the sleep structure itself has changed.
Exactly. Additionally, bladder capacity decreases with age, and for women especially, pelvic floor changes after menopause can increase nighttime urination. Your kidneys also process fluids differently at night as you age. These are all normal biological changes, not disease processes.
That's reassuring.
Now, here's what actually matters, Barbara. You said you fall back asleep. That's the key detail. If you are waking up and staying awake for hours, feeling exhausted during the day, struggling to function, then yes, we'd want to investigate further. But waking briefly 3 or 4 times and returning to sleep means your sleep is still restorative enough.
What if she wants to reduce these wakings?
There are practical steps. As I mentioned earlier with Kenneth, reduce fluid intake 2 hours before bedtime. Use the bathroom right before bed. Keep your bedroom cool around 65 to 68 degrees because overheating can cause waking. If you wake to use the bathroom, use a dim nightlight instead of bright lights, which can make falling back asleep harder.
Small changes that could help.
Also, Barbara, try not to look at the clock when you wake. Checking the time creates anxiety about how much sleep you're losing, which then makes it harder to fall back asleep. Just use the bathroom if needed, return to bed, and trust your body to drift off again.
What about the health danger her daughter mentioned?
Here's what she may have read about. Severely disrupted sleep with very frequent wakings, like 10 or more times per night, especially with breathing difficulties, can be linked to conditions like sleep apnea. But Barbara, you're waking 3 to 4 times, falling back asleep, and presumably not gasping for air or snoring heavily. That's completely different. Your pattern doesn't match a medical concern.
So when should seniors actually worry about their sleep?
Worry if you're experiencing extreme daytime fatigue that affects your daily activities. Worry if you stop breathing during sleep or wake up gasping. Worry if you can't fall back asleep after waking and spend hours awake every night. Worry if your mood dramatically changes or you develop serious concentration problems. But waking a few times and returning to sleep, that's just being 73, Barbara.
Clear guidelines.
A viewer once told us that her adult children kept insisting her nighttime waking meant she was developing Alzheimer's because they'd read something online. She became so anxious that her sleep actually got worse from stress. Finally, her doctor did a full evaluation, confirmed everything was normal aging, and asked her children to stop diagnosing her from internet articles. Once the family relaxed, her anxiety disappeared and her sleep quality improved, even though she still woke 3 times nightly.
Family concern can sometimes create unnecessary stress.
It absolutely can. Now, Barbara, here's the deeper psychological truth. Your daughter loves you and wants to protect you, but sometimes adult children project their own fears about aging and losing parents onto normal changes they observe. Her anxiety doesn't mean you have a problem. It means she's struggling with seeing you age.
That's a compassionate way to frame it.
You can gently educate her, share what your doctor said, explain that senior sleep is different, not broken. Set a boundary that says, I appreciate your concern, but my doctor has confirmed I'm healthy, and constantly worrying about this isn't helpful for either of us. You have the right to trust your doctor and your own body over your daughter's internet research.
Empowerment is so important.
Barbara, you're not overthinking because of what you read online. You're overthinking because someone you love planted doubt in your mind. Take back your confidence. Your body is doing exactly what a 73-year-old body should do. Waking a few times doesn't make you sick or dying. It makes you human and older, and there's nothing wrong with that. Accept it. Stop fighting it, and you'll find peace with your sleep again.
Perfectly said, Mark.
Well, Mark, we've covered so much important ground today.
We really have, Mary. These were such valuable questions.
What strikes me most is how much fear and confusion exists around completely normal aging changes.
That's exactly right. The internet has created this culture of panic around natural processes,
And seniors are caught in the middle, not knowing who to trust.
which is why conversations like this matter so much. We need to separate real medical concerns from normal aging.
Absolutely. I hope everyone watching feels more informed and less anxious now.
Me too. Knowledge really does reduce fear.
If you found this episode helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel.
It truly helps us continue creating content like this.
And remember, your questions matter. We want to hear what's troubling you.
Yes, please share your concerns.
Write your question in the comments below. Include your name, your age, and your country.
Your question might be featured in our next conversation.
We're building something special here, a community where seniors can get honest, compassionate answers.
Without the fear-mongering and clickbait.
Exactly. Just real information from people who care.
And remember, most of what you're experiencing is probably normal. Don't let the internet convince you otherwise.
Trust your doctors, trust your body, and trust your own experience.
Well said, Mary.
Thank you all for spending this time with us today.
Please take care of yourselves.
And remember, aging isn't something to fear, it's something to navigate with wisdom.
Be kind to yourselves, everyone.
We'll see you in our next episode.
Until then, sleep well.